What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Greg Wave. I wanted to do a video for you guys this week on what a true full-time week looks like. And when I'm saying like a true full-time week, this was 55 hours, so really more than the average work week. Most people are doing right around 40, a lot of times even less. So this is what about 55 hours looks like. This includes weekends. Basically I worked every single day except Sunday because Sundays suck. Just kidding. But Sundays I feel like are the worst day to do rideshare unless there's something going on, NFL game, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna be pulling up screenshots of the actual week so that I'm not just loading you guys up with fluff. Like, you guys will see this is an actual week that I did. And I'm going to go over some things to you guys, as well as we're going to talk about if it really all makes sense when it's all said and done. This was a Lyft Express Drive week. This was a week where I was renting a vehicle from Lyft. So I did hit every bonus they offered. So my final cost for the car was $145. So keep in mind that a lot of these numbers won't add up when you're really looking at the days. It's because there's about $150 that I had to pay out to Hertz for the vehicle. So as you guys will see, I did about $882 this week in about 54 hours. So you boil that down and that's about $16 an hour, give or take. This is all rough math, so don't be in the comments talking about my math sucking. I'm just like totally ballparking a lot of this. Now, the very first thing I want to talk about, okay, is when you take out the gas cost for this week, what do your numbers actually look like? So again, we're going to rough estimate this really quickly, but I've seen that usually I use a tank of gas per 12 hours of driving that I do. So for me, I spend about $35 give or take to fill up. We'll just use that number ballpark. So let's say 12, 24, 36, 48. So 4 hours, you're talking already over $200 in gas, and then we'll do another 6 to make it even. So let's say hypothetically, just to be safe, I'm gonna say I spent $230 on gas, and I will say I think it was a tad more than that, but let's just say I spent that on gas, right? So now you're taking this number down to about $650, okay? And now my hourly rate, going into that is, it's a lot less. So this is what I believe, okay? I believe that if you're driving your own vehicle and after expenses, after gas and oil changes and crap, if you're only making like 11, 12 bucks an hour and you're putting all that mileage on your vehicle, there's not a chance in the world that that is worth it. That's the way I see it. Now, if you're renting a vehicle and after it's all said and done, you're making $12 an hour, that's not too bad because you're not putting any damage on your car, and it is Lyft and Uber. You're doing it on your own time. You're doing it as much as you want, as little as you want. To be only making $12 an hour, that's not bad. And that is why I do believe that the rental program is good, but you won't recognize how good it is until 2-3 years down the road when you would have been driving your own car and destroying it. Instead, you destroyed someone else's car. Okay? Because it adds up very fast. So why I'm saying that is these numbers on your own vehicle don't make sense. They do not make sense, and you should not do it. But if you're doing this on your own car, or on someone else's car, that's not terrible. I will say I've had a lot of weeks where I've made way more than this in a week. I will also say I've had weeks where I've made less than that in a week. So this is not a very consistent thing. But let's move on. $165 in tips for the week. That's not bad. Whenever I did full-time driving, I always tried to my goal was to make over $150 a week in tips. Because what you're talking about is about $600 extra a week, or I'm sorry, a month in tips. So that's good money. You're talking an extra $600 coming in from tips. That's good additional income. So I usually almost always did that. And another thing to keep in mind is that this week makes even less sense if you pulled the tip money away from that, from the span of being a full-time driver if it were your own vehicle. Now, the other thing is that if it were your own vehicle, you really made over 1,000, and really even more than that, because express drivers make less per ride. So you'd make even more than that. And then when you really look at it, it's not a bad week. It'd probably be something more like $1,100. But still, let's look at it. So let's say you pull the 165 away from that. Now you're back into the 900 range again. Then let's say the 230, you're at 700 something for your week. Doesn't make too much sense, does it? Now, like I said, that's saying getting the tip money out of there. But once you add that tip money back in, you're right around the $850 to $900 range again, and that's still not a bad week. But it's dicey. It's getting close to where you'd really have to think about if it's the best thing for your time. But let's jump into the weekdays and see what I did. So Monday I did about $141. The entire weekdays, excluding Friday, because Friday to me is more like the weekend. So Monday through Thursday was all night shift. I would start anywhere at 8 p.m. and work until about, oh man, they were long days, anywhere from 6 to 8 a.m. So 10 to 12 hours Monday through Thursday. So keep that in mind as you're looking at these numbers. You know, $140 for a weekday night seems pretty good, but in about 10 to 12 hours, how good is that, you know? So Tuesday I did about $154. Wednesday I really needed a break. I only made $60. Generally how I do my weeks is I'll do 2 really strong days on Monday and Tuesday. I do a smaller day on Wednesday, a few hours just to add to the income. Thursday I do a really long day, and Friday and Saturday I do like medium range hours. So Wednesday I did $60. Thursday I did about $170. So 170 is pretty good. I like Thursdays a lot because I feel like because it's college night in most cities, if you have a major school near you. So you're going to still get a decent amount of bar rush of kids that are going out on Thursdays. So, you know, just Monday through Thursday, I did about 230, 330, 380, 420. I did about $520, give or take, just working Monday through Thursday, right? So not terrible, you know. That would be about a 40-hour week, probably a little bit less actually. It'd probably be about 35 hours Monday through Thursday. So almost a full-time week, and you're making about $500+ and getting your weekend off. Not terrible. Okay, so but now let's look at Friday. So you pull up Friday, I did about $310. So that's pretty good. I believe I did that in about 9 hours. So, you know, that's actually a solid hourly rate. That's a good amount of money to make it in, you know, one day. And then you pull up Saturday and we see 306. So you're talking in the 2 days I worked, I made $616. I did it in significantly less hours than I did Monday through Thursday. And this brings up a very, very big point of mine, is that the best and most effective way you can drive Uber and Lyft is working just Friday and Saturday. Imagine if you had a, you know, we'll say you worked a job that was 35 hours a week, and let's just say you only bring in $500 a week, okay? Hypothetically, you work on Friday and Saturday only. Now, I will say that the worst I've ever done, if I'm working like somewhere 8 to 10 hours on a Friday and Saturday, I maybe once or twice did below $200. But almost always I'll make over 200 on a Friday or Saturday night if I put in 9 to 10 hours. So if you could supplement your income and make, let's say, we'll even go low, $400 extra a week just working 18 to 20 hours, that'd be pretty great, especially if you're already working. If you were making 500, now you're bringing in, you know, nearly $1,000 a week instead of 500 a week. So this is the best way to do it, because the full time, for me to get even close to making like $1,000 a week, and really I wasn't that close when you really think about it, I had to do 54 hours. you know, that's the one thing to consider. That's a lot of work. You know, like, Sunday was the only true day I had off. But other than that, you know, I worked every single other day, and Wednesday I was really chill about it. So I kind of get 2 days off, but you know, I still was working Wednesday, and you know, Sunday was really the only true day I had off. So this is it, guys. 54 hours. This is what I did. I would consider this probably an average week. I would say here and there you're going to do lower than this, but I would say there's a good amount of times you can do better than this. The main thing I wanted you guys to see is I wanted you guys to see what it really looks like to be a full-time driver. Because if you're looking to make that decision about being a full-time driver, this is a good reference for what it could possibly be like and how much work you'd have to put in a week. But the biggest thing to see out of this is that just working weekends, you can do really, really well. So take that into consideration, guys. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more content coming out for you guys. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I hope this gives you some clarity on any decisions you were thinking about making. Have a great week. I hope you guys kill it with tips and money and everything else related to this. Go out and crush it. I will see you guys soon.